अनक्वालिफाइड ज्ञान का और एक पॉडकास्ट में आप सबका स्वागतम है। एंड आज मेरे साथ है मेरा खास दोस्त शाहरुख लश्कर। शाहरुख, वेलकम टू दी शो।
Yeah, thank you so much for
या तो शाहरुख के साथ बातें स्टार्ट होंगे, ठीक है। एंड उसके जर्नी, उसके लाइफ, इसके बारे में आज बातें करेंगे। पहले थोड़ा एक सिप ऑफ चाय पी लीजिए, बता दीजिए चाय कैसा है।
first of all, thank you so much for inviting me for this podcast. I'm really grateful to that you want me to have a talk about all these things.
जी,
Yeah, let's see the chai how it is.
to introduce Shahrukh, what I will tell you, Shahrukh is not my childhood friend, but we belong from the same place. Same, it's a it's a suburban area, Diamond Harbour. We come from that place, and we met him. I met him 5 years ago, and what I find from him is he is a very sorted person, sorted friend we have ever seen. Like, we come from engineering background, and people from engineering background don't stay sorted from the very beginning of early life. But I found Shahrukh is very sorted. He has a diverse passion. I will come into that. He loves cooking, he loves dancing, he loves doing exercise and many things. He also have is running a Instagram channel, and he is doing very good on it. So सारूब, हम स्टार्ट करेंगे कहानी का शुरू से। शुरू मतलब तुम्हारे ज़िंदगी का शुरू का कहानी। तुम कहाँ से हो, उधर का वातावरण इधर से कैसे अलग है, ठीक है। तुम्हारा ग्रोइंग अप कैसा था, तुम स्कूल में कैसे रहते थे, या यू आर इंट्रोवर्ट देन या एक्सट्रोवर्ट देन। तो उसी से ही स्टार्ट करते हैं।
Yeah, I born and brought up is a very rural area basically.
जी,
So basically rural area in the sense like गांव में जैसे होता है,
करेक्ट
बहुत
करेक्ट।
ही rural area is back in 90s, and we all know like this now it's 2025, it's been a 30 years, like I'm 30 years old now,
करेक्ट करेक्ट।
and then a lot of things has been changed actually. I really so grateful, and I really appreciate and be grateful for the things I have right now, because बचपना बहुत स्ट्रगल था। I शायद वो स्ट्रगल नहीं होता तो आज शायद नहीं यहाँ पे होता। तो छोटा छोटा चीज़, हाँ अभी चेंजेस कैसा है घर का लाइक, बट अभी जब गांव में जाते हैं लाइक वहाँ का रूट तो रूट रहता है, लाइक यू
Correct,
फील लाइक
correct.
दैट्स that you born there, you have that kind of that corner, soft corner, right? But still upbringing भी हो चुका है, like we born brought up, and we have a lot of lifestyle has changed and all, right? So in that case, like when I went back to my village and we stay there for a couple of days, I don't feel like the staying there. Maybe I don't match my vibe right now I have with the peoples there. So that problems is there, but yeah, I don't want like to be detached from my village for my entire life. I always wanted to be there and ground to be there. Ground my in the sense like it be relationship with every person whoever there, because maybe right now their kind of vibe match शायद नहीं होता है, लेकिन वो पार्ट है हम लोगों का, लाइक ग्रोइंग अप का एक पार्ट है। बहुत छोटा छोटा चीज शायद हेल्प किया है, मायने रखता है। सो आई कांट फॉरगेट दोस थिंग्स इफ आई एम जितना भी आगे जा सके, दैट्स रियली अप्रिशिएट द चैलेंज लाइक ग्रोइंग अप एंड हैविंग अ ड्रीम, इट्स ओके, बट इफ वी शुडंट फॉरगेट आवर like root and where you born and brought up. I think one thing I see and I really I understood and learned from my life, the people is really who is, everyone is started with struggling, some kind of struggle every people have, but the people who actually born in a rural areas, and then he grown up, and then he changed a lot of things and achieved small things. They understand each and everything. I guess that is the best part of I guess
ज़्यादा दुनिया देखते हैं।
yes, correct, in the early stage of your life. So क्या होता है, like you know each and everything is value, you know how to value those things, you know उसका मायने क्या है, एक अच्छे मील का भी कितना कीमत हो सकता है। The people in a might be born in a good family, doesn't haven't seen a lot of struggle in their early stage, might be they can relate those things. Like I'm talking about the Genghis people, they might be not the way we lived and the way we born and brought up, they might.
See, if even we see from like rural areas, there we have a एक जेनजी का एक छवि हमारे दिमाग में आ जाता है, लेकिन रूरल एरिया में आज भी हम जाते हैं, वो ऐसा चेंज नहीं हुआ है.
ना चेंज नहीं हुआ, करेक्ट.
तो इफ जेनजी टर्म्स, इफ यू लाइक स्टीरियोटाइपिंग जो जेनजी हम करते हैं, वो शहर के लिए ही है मेरे हिसाब से. ठीक है.
या करेक्ट.
तो वो स्ट्रगल कहीं खत्म नहीं हुआ है.
नहीं नहीं.
जो स्ट्रगल के बारे में शाहरुख बात कर रहा है, तो शाहरुख मैं और थोड़ा जानना चाहूँगा, तुम्हारे स्कूल घर से कितना दूर थे, कैसे तुम स्कूल जाया करते थे, ये सारी चीज़ अगर बोल.
There's been a lot of story I want to tell about those my earlyhood. So as I told, right, I even in my childhood I was a lot of financial struggle and all. So when I used to born and brought up in a primary school. I never been in a KG school. Okay, I just there's a
पहले से ही प्राइमरी.
primary. I was
Correct.
there's a primary school. And
What
after
is the name of school?
Shahapara Primary School.
Shahawara Primary.
And that is a school is really a really good school. There are a lot of pass outs like me. Now they actually achieve a lot of things. There are a lot of
Correct.
doctors is there. But nowadays I think that circumstances changes, the politics changes, and being there might be the way used to study at the primary school earlier stage. I don't think in that way studies is nowadays is
Now
happening.
what happen is like now capitalism takes place. So what happen if capitalism gets higher priority in every city or country? What happens is the privatization gets started, and if a private school get offer many things, the government school becomes a bit neglected, and only the students who will not afford to go private school, they only go to the
Correct.
government school. So that happened actually. But in our time, we have only one choice, that is going to a government college or maybe a better government college. But now it's not like that. The competition is not there at all.
Yeah, the competition also has not been there, and
Correct,
the way
correct.
has been a lot of things changed, right? In primary, the way studies, because if you see, right, if you see like the culture having a government school, if the studies happening well and there are a lot of care is being taken care of things, so if your same kind of competition is with as per the private, not at the same level, but if you see kind of good things like for your career, like মানে আমাদের so we can like what say like in our stage, right, in earlier my stage, like there are a lot of good student actually came out from those schools, but right
Correct,
now it's very
correct.
very difficult because that competition is not there, and
Correct.
maybe that financial
Even
state
if you
of
have the merit, then also like वो उधर जाके वो खो जाता है.
correct.
If the competition, जो पढ़ने का पास फेल ऑल द थिंग्स एंड स्ट्रिक्ट टीचिंग, ये सब नहीं है, ठीक है,
correct.
तो यू विल गेट
The
लॉस्ट.
competition is lost, right? That's
करेक्ट करेक्ट.
and that is the reason I guess in the urban rural area nowadays is people are not like focusing on that much of education, and education is getting but not that much, that way of education is getting actually.
व्हाट इज रियल एजुकेशन एज पर यू?
See,
शिक्षा क्या है?
real education is basically if I say right, see, real education, what's it like, how you are, I think the real education means to me how you are like bringing up yourself, and how you have started, like where you have started the things, and how you seeing the worlds, and how you are seeing the worlds and your point of views and views. Academic education is different and the real
Correct,
education
correct.
is different.
So here is the thing. So academic education is different thing and the education is
It's a
different
different thing,
thing.
correct.
सो शिक्षा अभी शुरू में वही एक पाथ रहता है कि पहले एकेडमिक क्वालिफिकेशन कंप्लीट करते हैं, एंड एकेडमिक क्वालिफिकेशन पहले कंप्लीट करते करते जो जिसमें हम गो थ्रू करते हैं, शायद वो रियल एजुकेशन नहीं मिलता है.
करेक्ट.
तो एक कोहॉर्ट जो होता है एजुकेशन एंड दी एकेडमिक एजुकेशन का जो कोहॉर्ट, वो शायद कहीं मिसिंग है, और उस लोगों को ही मिलता है जो कुछ स्ट्रगल या कुछ लाइफ में और किसी से गुजारते हैं, तो उन लोगों को ही शायद वो मिल पाता है.
Yes, like if they gone through that kind of circumstances, situation, the situation teaching them that particular things, that how to deal with that particular situation.
So nowadays the special education came up, so they virtually create that circumstances, like they keep you in a boarding school and you have to learn these things like daily things. You have to do like button at your own, and you have to clean your clothes, those
Correct, correct.
stuffs. Those school teaches
Now, that is a beautiful thing, I guess. Like in your earlier stage, if you teach them your child, right, to be
how
independent
to
and doing all
survive
these things, how
actually.
to survive, is really, really helpful in real life.
Correct, correct.
Because, but our circumstances, society, the way we pamper our childs, the way we treat them, it's okay to treat them, but you need to learn, teach them the basic skills. Basic skills is really that's I saw the Japan's culture and all, right. It's really I appreciate and
Tell me more about Japan's culture.
I don't know much about the Japan's culture, but whatever I have seen, that's really attractive. That the way they actually teaches their child from that earlier stage by doing everything like coming to and how you to hygienic you to maintain and how to clean your own spaces. You do your own things and how it's really really important and matters. It's everything take care of. Your schools take care of that. Your parents take care of that. So everywhere they're seeing that thing and actually that environment, right? That actually teaches us a lot. So their environment is some kind of that way. If you are also not in that way, you have to learn. You're getting through that environment. You are learning actually. If you don't want to learn, also your environment is like teaching you.
Correct, correct, correct. So how nature or how your family or parents have like aligned with your education goals, or you have choose your education goals, and how you went through that journey?
Yeah, I entered in my life in my schooling after five, taking the school at fifth standard. When after primary school, you have to go to the take the exam of a high school level, and
जी
you
जी
have
जी.
to take your choose school. So from that five standard, I used to take choosing the school till I'm here. I was the decision maker, and
You are the only decision
and only
makers.
the decision maker, because there was no my father and my mother was not that much of educated, but they wanted me to do higher study and do well in and get a good life and can help them and can support them. They always wanted to me, and I was kind of studious student in my childhood stage, so that's what that actually encouraged them to actually wishing me to do well in future.
तो अगर घर से कोई प्रेशर नहीं है, तो मैं देखते हैं बचपन में वो पढ़ने का इच्छा ही चले जाते हैं। तो हाउ यू मेंटेन दैट बीइंग अ स्टूडियस, लाइक पढ़ने का जीत कहाँ से आता था कि हमको पढ़ना है, स्कूल में अच्छा करना है? एज अ चाइल्ड शाहरुख, हाउ यू गेट टू डिसाइड दैट?
Yeah, so that is if you are in a childhood, what thing I really liked in that earlier parenting, whether you have to be there some certain time, you have to be where to study. If you are
गॉट इट,
studying or
गॉट
not,
इट,
your parents is sitting over there, and you have to like your that story or that
जी जी
hearting you and all this thing, right? You have to make sure you have to that whether you are studying or not, you have to be disciplined or that system to be there that you are sitting 6 to 8 for study, going this time of school, and that kind
डिसिप्लिन्स
of
मेक्स, या
discipline makes that, and that way you are getting competition and you are loving that your and when you are getting good smart marks and all. So that kind of encouragement in that way, I guess. And I guess in my 90s, I'm really really grateful that I got that. Even also I born in my rural area, but that time also in every like in my everyone used to go to school, everyone used to like fear their teachers and all, right?
करेक्ट
That
करेक्ट
is a
ऑफ
good
कोर्स.
thing to being in the system, and that encourages, I guess, to how much you can do well.
करेक्ट
So there
करेक्ट.
the pressure was from the school as well, pressure was from your parents as well, pressure from your tuition batch as well, but nowadays it's not there in the rural area. So that's what that people is.
Have you ever been asked for a parent call?
Parent call. I guess I was asked for a parent call when I was in high school.
Okay, it was because of your behavior or the education, like you
Not
are not
education.
doing
It's
good.
behavior, some kind of
Okay.
with friends doing some vulgar thing. We are there.
Those are
That was
beautiful child memories,
that's a
isn't it?
childhood.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was since my childhood, I quite disciplined. I was not that much of like here and there and doing good bad stuff. So in my childhood, I don't know, maybe privilege or maybe that's God's direction, whatever it is. I really appreciate and I really grateful to that. I always good to know that what's good for me and what's bad for me, and I try to avoid me from those bad things.
Oh, who was your best friend in your school?
In my school, best friend was, yeah, Tariq. Tariq was my best friend.
Okay.
He is right now in, I guess he's not living in West Bengal. I guess he's Chennai. He's doing some job. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, we
How
used
how
to
you connected with him right now? Like, do you
uh,
speak often or?
often, very often we speak whenever he comes to Kolkata, and they ask me, call me, and sometimes maybe in the
Okay.
Facebook stories and all Instagram stories we talk about.
Okay. So, when you passed out the 12, have you ever feel like that is the last moment you will having the closer to your all buddies? Like, have you had that feelings, or after years you realize that those are the last moments we had?
No, that is not the thing. Even I will tell you a story. Even also, I didn't know that after 12 whether I'll be continuing or not. Even my studies.
Okay,
Even
okay.
after 10 also, I was not sure whether I'm continuing or not,
Ye-
because the way where I born and brought up, the culture was not that much of higher school. People used to go to earlier age, go to
And
work
people
and
go to
learn
earning,
earning.
start
Okay.
earning.
So even though I didn't know anything and all these things, right? So I used to good study, and even that dorji kind of,
जी जी जी
that's worker, right?
जी
Dorji
जी
worker. So
जी.
in my villages, so most of the like peoples are used to do these things.
Go to
So
the
maybe I
juice.
also thought of my head I had to go to that,
Okay,
that
and what
also.
changed that?
What change that means? Like I didn't get that.
Like, see, after 12, like, you didn't choose the traditional path, you are
Yes,
saying,
okay,
right?
yeah, correct.
So what changes that?
What changes me on why I choose that one?
Correct. Why you like,
Choose
what
that.
what changes your path actually?
Okay, okay. What changes my path? Yeah, correct. Actually, I think there was no such kind of my ambition. There is no such kind of my dream that I will be engineer and all. So because of the trend, and that time I was going on to be taking the engineer,
I-
and after 12, right? So people, yeah, there is no much scope in general line,
Correct, correct. That's
general
true.
lay, and you
That's
have to take it a different way. And there are a lot of stock. That time was so much craze about that doing engineering and all. So I
so
think that's
that when your like major of your friends went to engineering,
correct.
and that's why you choose
Correct.
the engineering as well.
That's
Do
it.
you think is the best decision you ever taken?
I don't know the best whether it was a best decision or not, but I think it's a both decision, because I'm living a good life and I'm supporting my family.
That matters
That
actually.
matters a lot.
तो जब स्कूल तो हो गया, देन यू केम टू द कॉलेज. कहाँ कॉलेज थे? स्कूल से
Earlier
कितना दूर था?
university, school I was in Diamond Harbour,
हम्म.
and then I came to college in Kolkata. So it's on a, 65, 70 kilometers far away from Kolkata to.
So you took a room nearby, right?
No. That is a question like in, yeah. So usually told you, right? That's financial struggle and all.
Correct, correct,
So
yeah.
due to that, I used to travel from Diamond Harbour to. Initially, my college was in Sector 5 in a rented building, and for doing mechanical workshop and all, I have to travel from Sector 5 to Park Circus by via my college bus.
Okay.
And I used to travel from Diamond Harbour to Sector 5 every day, like taking a 6:30 or 6:40. That's local train. That's in that crowd place. Okay, so when I remember those memories, oh my god, yeah, I did. So
जी.
so I used to travel, and then yeah, initially I used to travel, but after third, fourth semester, when I was hampering my studies and all, then I had
Then
to
you
take a
started
decision.
to,
Yeah, even also I, for taking my own expenses, I tried to think a lot of. I went to visit even for a part-time job. I visited Domino's. I visited KFC
have
for
you
that
taken
matter.
any job?
I haven't taken any job. I wanted to take a job KFC, but there was stop timing, and the problem was like they was to told every day I had to. I had this beard, small beard at that time, and they told every day I had to clean shave, and I was some itching issues. Okay, so that time I didn't take. And when I went to Domino's, there was like a 33 rupees per hour, I guess. They like agreed to pay. Okay, but they was not comfortable to take me, because when they saw my CV, right, I'm doing engineering and all, so they told why you want to do this. There are asked a lot of questions. I think I have money issues, and I want have money to living here.
सी, इंडिया में एक छवि है जो वेस्टर्न कल्चर से थोड़ा अलग है. वेस्टर्न कंट्री में ये बहुत ही कॉमन चीज़ है.
Exactly.
स्टूडेंट एक्चुअली दे मेक देयर ओन मनी एंड दे स्पेंड एट देयर लाइक एजुकेशन. इट्स अ वेरी कॉमन थिंग. बट इन इंडिया में पढ़ाई खत्म होने के बाद ही काम करने लगते हैं.
Yes.
I saw in like in every places like Western countries. My friends are there. They also like went for the higher studies. They did a part-time job. Even I know people like जो उबेर में काम करता है, ठीक है, 2 घंटे के लिए. उबेर, he knows driving, so he drives a car. He took a rented car and he drives 2 hours for a day to do his living. So it's a very common thing. Someone sells popcorn at a movie counter that I have seen. So but in India में वो छवि नहीं है.
Correct.
India में it's like if you are a student, you are supposed to not earn money.
True.
You should earn money after that.
Even in Western culture, I guess so. It's not about that whether you are financially struggling or not.
Correct. Every people do.
That's a trend that whenever someone is in going to college and all, they want to have some own earning money, even whether parents supporting or not, but they want to do. That's a trend, and that's, I guess,
It's
system
not
kind
an,
of thing. You can say.
Yeah, it's a part of the life. I believe.
It's a system actually.
Everybody does.
Correct.
Everybody same thing does. Cool. Then let's अभी क्या है, तुम कॉलेज में और थर्ड ईयर से इधर रहने लगे, राइट?
I stayed a lot of areas of Kolkata in nearby. There are a lot of stories also there.
Okay, so you like अभी हम थोड़ा पैशन के उस साइड जाएंगे कि
Okay. Yeah, that's nice.
So I know you do 3 things very lovingly. One is dancing, second is doing exercise, and third is making food.
Correct.
That I know, 3 things. And also you are now very devotional and doing spiritual practice as well.
Yeah, I do. Yes.
So what is the first thing you being attracted, like dancing?
Dancing.
How that happens?
Yeah,
like,
when I was in school at 12th standard, so I used to watch that Dance India dance. So that was my,
Okay.
that's my, I really, but my regular kind of
Class
habits.
12.
Class 12. I
Okay.
used to, no, before that I used to watch, but I got into that since my childhood. I used to dancing like what, or you might be relate to that when someone in the village is own a cup or something like in a rally of
correct.
owning an election. After owning an election, that rally goes there. So I used to dance a lot in those places and all randomly. So then I gradually went in up to when 12. I used to watch DID, Dance India Dance. I used to follow, and that Raghav, you might be heard the name Raghav.
Raghav.
So he was my actually idol, you can say, the dancing idol. So I learned a couple of steps from him. So from
So
there,
you watch TV and then you learn things.
yeah, correct.
You didn't had any gurus and stuff.
No, I
like
didn't
that.
have any gurus. Even also, I have the interest, and then I used to practice. That's it.
Okay.
I have an interest in not only that 12, but in my earlier stage, in my childhood, I was in interest in dancing.
So you never been the process of learning dance, right?
No.
You just did it instinctively.
Correct.
And how you get to the notes? Like music have the notes and the dance has the notes.
That is my one problem. When I dance, I might be, if you saw, I can't sometimes match with the musics. Okay. What I did, I just listen the song, and I move my bodies.
Okay.
I can relate what kind of movement is kind of the, whether slow move is required or whether it's like there is fast move is required. I just to listen my that's music in my body, and I try to move my body. I never practiced or rehearsed on any song. I kind of for a college performance might be I did couple of rehearsal for
Of course, for singing.
But most of the times I used to do that way.
So you just go with the music.
Go with the music.
And there is no notes, no theories, and nothing like that.
I just enjoy
it.
Good.
Okay. Do you perform always? You do solo perform? You have ever performed with someone else?
No, I think group performance has been done in a college once.
For that you did rehearsal. And
rehearsal.
I think
group sing solo.
That time you also got choreographer and stuff.
Yeah, right? Correct.
So when you made the choreographer, what do you learn from him?
Learn from this that the steps. Whenever I used to do the steps, right? Not completing the steps. So I told you're doing well, but you're not completing the steps. You have to taking the steps. You have to complete the steps and you have to start again another steps.
Okay.
I used to that's good.
Got it.
And that still a lot of people just tell me, hey, you were a good dancer, why you don't learn dance and all, you can do
Why
workshops
you
and all.
didn't do that? I'm surprised.
See, the thing is like I had my wish also that to be in the dancing career and all, even my child earliest stage of my life. But told you right, everything if you have a wish also you can't do it. The circumstance can't make you
Correct, correct,
go in that way. So and I'm also not regret to that, or I don't regret. Sometimes it's not about that what your passion or whatever hobbies is. That doesn't mean you have to be make it in a career, but that should be a part of your life to give you joy and give happiness and
got it.
during your off time. So
It's
yeah,
इट्स राइटली सेड एक्चुअली। तो सब कुछ से करियर बनाना है, पैशन ये करना है, तो ये नहीं, आदमी का बहुत कुछ होता है
correct,
कि हम किसी के साथ कंपटीशन में भी जाना नहीं है, हम इससे पैसा भी नहीं करना है, बस हमको अच्छा लगता है
correct.
करना। सो
That's
दैट थिंग्स मैटर।
yeah, true.
सो स्टेइंग हैप्पी इज अ हैक।
Yeah, happy is a hack and practice also.
करेक्ट, करेक्ट।
So daily practice. You need to put efforts on that. It's not like you will be doing
व्हाट
this.
एफर्ट्स यू डू फॉर स्टेइंग हैप्पी? आर यू अ हैप्पी पर्सन?
Mm, yeah, happy I think is a state of mind, right? Happiness, sadness is state of mind. Sometimes
So
you're
there
happy,
is
sometimes
a,
you're sad.
of course, it's a state of mind, but there, if you go to a person, you easily can relate that, oh, he is a very happy person. And some people you go, oh my god, he's so depressed person. And some people you go, oh, he is the hungry
Yeah,
man.
correct, correct, correct.
So what is your vibe? Are you a happy
I
person?
think I'm a happy person.
Okay. And what keeps you most happy?
Uh, being disciplined and doing things in a being disciplined and believe in the system and doing the things on a regular basis and love the things.
तो थोड़ा आप जो चीज़ें बोले, बीइंग इन अ डिसिप्लिन, तो अगर किसी को, मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल को अगर तुम बोलो कि व्हाट ब्रिंग्स यू हैप्पीनेस, इज इट डिसिप्लिन, बोलो व्हाई? Discipline is the thing you shouldn't be happy about.
Yeah, so discipline in the sense like I'm talking about that's what makes me happy. Discipline in the sense I doing my things right in a right way and I'm putting like what's a good life actually. The discipline means like it's not about that doing things. Yeah, you are being disciplined and making yeah, being disciplined is one point to be happy, and another thing if I talk about the being happy is to that calm minds, like letting the things go and understanding the situation and react on this, how you react on these things, and not everything is taking it personal.
Tell me 5 disciplines you follow in your life.
Yep. So discipline first I do follow having a good meal, try to be always daily body movement, okay, and three is try to be good sleep, okay, and fourth is like a spiritual practice in the sense like I do sometimes when I'm low and all, I'm listening to the lead all authors and sometimes a good leaders and all too, that makes you mind that how you taking the things and how you should take the things to nourishing your minds and your things. Yeah.
So what disturbs you most, like कि if you not like a chart discipline, let's suppose एक discipline एक दिन के लिए नहीं हुआ, is that disturbs you a lot?
No, that don't disturb me a lot because it's a part of life and you have to be accept that if things can't go well all the time so well, okay, and you have to be ready for that, and that is the thing I guess the your spiritualities come, that is the thing where your how you responding the things it's really come. That is suppose like if I talk about that yeah, something like when you plan something right and it didn't plan in the same way, so what my is cause you always put efforts to do things well, mannerly, good wellly, but also same times you have that courage or that acceptance that it didn't happen well, I try my best but it didn't happen, it's okay.
Okay. What next thing you want to master?
It's master in the non I think
See
on
you,
spirituality I think we
yeah.
talk about.
Since since you are talking about spirituality, like uh, so you are talking about taking a good sleep, right? So did you master it, like how to get a good sleep?
No, I am not yet mastered it, but I always practice to have a good sleep. I never try to compromise with anything my sleep. Like for a late night movie, I even also when I'm suppose I'm watching a movie and I'm feeling like a sleepy, right? I just shut down my laptop and I just go for sleep. So because healthy sleep is I think is underrated and we should prioritize this.
Yeah, it's nicely said. The healthy sleeping is underrated, but the problem is that we see our life is driven by someone else. Let's suppose our managers or our lead or the company we are working at. We
Correct.
sometimes doesn't get the sleep we want.
Correct. Even also the work culture and
Correct,
work
correct.
shift
Work
shifting and all
culture,
shiftings
shifting
and all.
timings, and many
Right.
things.
Yeah.
So, doesn't like those things conflicts you,
Correct.
and how you
Yeah.
handle it?
So I think so everything is not in your control, right? The things are not in your control. You should not focus on that. The things you can focus on that if you are like managing those things, that would be it. So when you are, it's obviously this pattern, right? Good healthy sleep doesn't mean like everyone should have that privilege to go to sleep at 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock,
It's a
right?
privilege.
Yeah, everyone doesn't have that privilege, right?
Correct, correct.
Because of the shifting, because of that night shift and all. But I think they should work on there to like whenever they're sleeping as pattern, they should follow that pattern and focus on that good meals, right?
So I'll pause, take a pause here since you were suggesting something. So एक बार मैं एक कट लूंगा for our reel.
Okay.
Okay, so हमारे दर्शकों के लिए ये बता दीजिए कि how to get some good sleeps.
Yeah. So good sleep it's not in a one days of things. You need to be good sleep is basically I think when you are going to sleep or going to a bed, and if you are sleeping within couple of minutes or 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes or within a minutes, I think you have a good healthy sleep. But sometimes we struggle to sleep a lot time in a bed. We are lying on a bed and we are 1 hour, 2 hours, right? So that's you should we should work on that if we are facing those things. That's not a good healthy sleep. So I think it's focus on then I think you need to see how your lifestyle is and what are the things you can correct, whether you have a, like having a good foods. I said like earlier that sleep is underrated, and similarly I think the having a good meals and proper nutritious try to be, and that's also underrated because that's also connects to a lot of things, your mood, your happiness, your energies, your positivity and all these things I believe. So if you have to be in the right meals, try to be right meals and all, and body movement, that's really your
Being
that
exhausted.
exhausted, so body movement is required, like doing regular basis exercise and all. And the things like your spiritual practices is required, right? You
The
cannot control the
calmness in your
calmness in
mind.
your mind. So here I just one thing I learned, right, that because calmness is sometimes we let opposite people, opposite person to manage our moods. How it works like that, if you suppose someone is badly behaved with me, and that makes my mood bad, right? Okay, and that's human nature, and that's absolutely right. I think we cannot control that how people will behave with us. We can't control, right? But we can control that how we will respond to that, right?
Of course.
For an example, like I don't like to be in a parties and all, but I can't remove those as my friends. They are my
Correct, correct,
friends.
of
Their
course.
lifestyle. They choose that, and we cannot change anyone until they want to be changed or they are capable or they have that skill set to change, right? So similarly, like suppose I don't like parties and all late night and that end moments, but if I'm going there and if that's really bothering me and impacting me my life, so I should not go there. I have the option of, and power to choose where to go and where to not. I cannot tell them they, hey, don't do these things bad. They knows already these things is bad.
Correct,
You
correct,
can
of
change
course.
them, right?
Yeah, of course.
So how you are responding those things if you work on, I guess is really matter. So
So, in a brief, like for our viewers who want to get good sleep, the number one is try to get early in the bed,
correct.
and if you it's
Yeah,
possible,
and one thing I
ten.
want to say
Yeah.
is like early in the bed and try to away from that mobiles and all. Even I also struggle to that, but still I do practice that. Yeah, whenever going to sleep,
Don't you take your phone with you when you
uh,
are sleeping?
I nice recently I'm practicing that whenever I'm just turning silently my phone and putting that in the desk table and just going to sleep and just
So,
thinking a lot of things.
so here it comes a very interesting point. How you refrain yourself from a infinite reel loop?
Correct.
How you do it?
So infinite real group, I think you should things like I struggle here, right? Okay, sometimes it goes to infinite real group. But still, you know, we have
Yeah,
to reach there.
that's the brilliant thing I've never done by the Mark Zuckerberg. Even the people who does a 50-40% spiritual practice doesn't even get rid of that. Yeah,
So I think in real practice, how you are getting, yeah, you have to be like, sometimes you can do one thing. You can, that's your screening time you can make. That's for Instagram, for Facebook.
do you check your daily screening time?
Yeah,
What is
I
your
did.
average screening time?
My average screening time is, I guess, 4 hours something. I want to reduce that also.
4 hours is
four
the
hours something.
screening time in your mobile. And what is the top app? Is it Instagram?
I think so. It's Instagram. Yeah, that's my topic. So that I
Okay.
try to follow that. Yeah, when I'm going to the main is like we art. So what I did for it is turn off the notifications all.
Correct, correct. That actually I also did, and
Yeah.
that it significantly reduced
Yeah,
my
I also recently I did. Recently is like a 2 to 3 months I'm following that. I do not have even WhatsApp notification. I don't have because our
WhatsApp.
brain
I
is
do have because sometimes I get work notification. It's there.
correct. Okay.
So WhatsApp I cannot afford to do mute. I
Yeah.
have muted all the groups. Okay,
Yeah.
but the personal DMs I can't because sometimes
Yeah. Sometimes you
important.
need
WhatsApp is
important.
now important. The rest of all social media apps are mute only. And what another thing I follow is in even Android and iPhone both have that system that from you can choose like from 10 p.m. to next day 8 a.m. there will be no notification in your phone. So I follow that. So there will be no ting ting. And if even at that time I don't receive calls as well. If someone has to reach to me, they have to call twice.
That's
Then
that's
the
really
ring will come. So that helped me to reduce.
really that help. Because see our human, our courage, our
Correct.
urges is every 10 minutes we our urge to check phones. So whether when you are checking your phones every 10 15 minutes, why you didn't need notification? Again, also another distraction. So our
Correct. Correct.
urges when you are like working also we have the urge to check the phones. So when you are checking phones like 50 minutes, you can just go and check these things. What do
I
you think?
had make sure that if my phone rings, it's really important. Otherwise, it will not ring. I will check it manually.
Okay,
Like if I get any Facebook message, WhatsApp message, or there's some memes at
that's
WhatsApp
really
groups,
appreciated.
that I will check
Thank
manually.
you. Yeah, that is one thing. Manual means we have
Yeah,
arts to check the phones.
correct,
Already we
correct.
have the arts. So why you need notification?
So notification doesn't ring.
Doesn't it?
Okay. So 40 minutes has passed. So there is but there is a lot of discussion
A
I
lot of
have.
discussion again.
Just
We can have
in before ending, I we started with a discussion of education, right?
education. Yeah.
So
Correct.
you the path we have taken is different than the path now generation is taking.
Correct.
Now we have grown up. Now my next generation, your next generation will come. So let's suppose you have a child or couple of
Yeah.
children, and how you like give them education.
The obviously education should be in a different way. First of
Will
all,
you,
I will
just
education in the
yeah.
sense like from their childhood they should be when they are capable to do their own thing. They should be make sure they are maintaining that. Okay, like doing own things from early stages
See,
of
the
their
problem is like we like after, when we get to decide things like what is good or bad, that comes in very late, like
correct.
before class 7 or before class
Yeah, true.
8
That's true.
we don't get that much of brain
Yeah,
to
that's true. That's true.
correct.
That's true.
So like how you will start your child's education?
uh, Child education I should like let them
You
like
will obviously not give to the school you have read, right?
yeah, no,
So
no, never.
so
Yeah,
you,
child obviously in a good school obviously, and also making
good
sure
private school.
good private school, that's also I
Why
did.
good private school?
Because see, that's I cannot change the government school structure and
Correct,
things.
correct.
If that is his government is doing well, obviously I will think about it. If the government is doing well to maintaining that, and government is putting efforts and wants students to be at least for a rural area village peoples, they don't have such much of money to privatize their like sending their kids to the private school, right? If they at least taking care of their to be getting a good education, and so that is okay. But whenever you have the money, you obviously will go for a good study. You can we always try to we do better, right? So the way we have started, we shouldn't want that our child should start the same way, right? So we'll try to be like everyone. They will have a different struggle. When we born and brought up, we had a different struggle. When they will born and brought up and will get into their lives, they will have the starting point will be might be in a different kind of struggle. But yeah, that's it. So obviously, when we have that money and you can capable, right? Obviously, you want your kids to be a
In
go
a
to in a
good
good
private
school,
school.
private school, and good school.
Why you didn't will not choose a special school?
Yeah, special schools, yeah, private schools means that if there, I don't have much about the special schools and school, whatever the schools is there.
The
That
schools
time I
who's
didn't discover that part. Maybe I'll
okay.
discover that
Yeah,
part.
it's not the time yet.
Yeah, I didn't discover the
Okay,
part that to be there. Maybe I'll discover that what kind of school maybe help lots to be not only in an academic way, but also in a being in a like growing like bringing up then a good human being, and as well as all aspects of life what really matters to living in a healthy and good life, right? If they're getting make sure of getting those kind of things, if some kind of things is providing that, obviously I will try to be help them do that, because we know, right, what's important and what's not.
correct, correct. And my next ask would be like, how it feels like to be in 30s. Like it's what changes from 20s. Like it's a lot of responsibility, a lot of uncertainty. What do you think?
Yeah, from 20s, like obviously the hosting responsibilities, you didn't have much
Correct, correct,
responsibilities. We have a lot of responsibilities, even a lot of managing a lot of things, right, in early 30s. So and you can't control that. You will eventually you will have those
correct,
things right in your bucket or in your list, and you have to do this thing. That changes is there, and I think because of that might be our generation is little kind of managing a lot of things, and maybe also, and that marriage is not getting right. I mean, a lot of things making them is frustration and stress, a lot of things. So changes is there. I think a lot of changes is there, right? So earlier when I was in 20, I didn't have much like that's responsibilities in that level. I have a lot of friends. I used to be in that gather in a group, but nowadays I really want to be in a quiet place. I want to be make myself in a quiet place, calm places that makes me feel peace and calmness. I don't want like a always, yeah, obviously friends group is there, and I want to be there with for some time and maybe for a trip and all. But most of the times I really want to be enjoy my quiet lives. So that is kind of maturity we came. That's actually quiet place doesn't give you the dareness. That is give you the peace actually. Quite actually.
so for me, I'll
But one thing
yeah,
I really I that is I think I in our control we can even also even something didn't change, and I'm really really grateful to that. Like my body is like when I was in 20 and 25, the way I was energetic and I was the way I was off to the field and I was to be energetic, and that's kind of thing still there, and that thing I'm like privileged and I'm really grateful, and for that I guess I would like to take care of my body, good meal, my exercises and all, because this is a lot of connected, but it's in a broader way, in a longer term way, it's really connect to you, and you really feel that those things, because in early 30s and people are having a lot of issues, right, kind of in bodies internal issues, some kind of in
correct,
outer
correct.
issues, right, because of that they didn't have a good lifestyle, and you cannot change everything in a day, in a 10 days or in a 5 months or 6 months. These are the things we don't feel or realize, but in a longer term it's really helps a lot.
So for me, what happened is like what I realized is in 20s, the decision you take that comes with the forgiveness, but in 30s, the decision you will take has a serious consequences.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
Quite a lot of consequences to face, but
and you have to take a lot of serious decision in 30s.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
40s we will see what happened, but in 30s,
Yeah, like there are something, some decision you cannot want to go back and cannot go and to go back and
correct,
do that,
correct,
because but in 20s might be have that chances that much of you
correct.
have time
That
to do the
that's what
correct.
I said. You have
That's
that
correct.
forgiveness in
Forgive.
20s, but in 30s, you will
Correct.
only face the
That's true. I
consequences.
really agree with it.
Okay, so we didn't able to cover your other aspects of like exercise, spiritual and stuff, but we'll
We'll come to
continue
next.
that podcast
Sure.
on the next episode. And thank you so much for coming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
thank you,
privilege. I'm really
thank you.
grateful and
Namaste.
appreciative. Yeah, thank you all guys.